Morning, everybody. Top 5 resale apps in Canada. Let's go. Number 5, eBay. eBay is the OG. It is like tried and true. It's been around for a long time. They've gone through a few transformations over time, but as it still stands, the shipping fees for items on there can range anywhere from $5 all the way up to $80, depending on what sellers post their shipping rates at. Now here in Canada, there's a large number of shipping options. The one thing about it is that I find the fees a little bit high as a reseller, so I personally don't use it. Not that I'm right or wrong, because I'm not. What is going on with this hair right here? Jesus. Anyways, yeah, that's just me. That's my personal preference. I don't use it because I don't like passing those fees on to my customers, and I feel like that's what happens on that platform. But if you're looking for pretty much anything on the planet, you can get it shipped to you, and it's eBay. eBay still has a ton of stuff. Number 4, I tried using it. I found it a little complicated as a reseller for how much shipping was, because you're setting your own shipping fees again. But again, an educated consumer can build that into their cost effectiveness and decide if they want to buy that, and that is Etsy. Etsy is a established platform that came on the scene a little while back, and they're, again, tried and true. You can get whatever you want. A lot of craft, home, customized things on Etsy. They're really good for that, and some things that are just you would never think of seeing on a retail spot. Etsy will have it. Check out the Etsy website, etsy.ca, I believe it is. I'd have to confirm that. One or the other, doesn't matter. Number 3 is Depop. I haven't used it personally. I had to research it because it was one of those things where I see it pop up from time to time. I put it at number 3 just because of shipping. It looks like their shipping's a little bit more controlled than the other two, but again, it's a reseller app that keeps money in Canadian consumers' hands. You're buying from Canadians. You're having that money staying in Canada, and I think that's a very important thing right now. So yeah, that's why I put it at number 3. I just don't know enough about it. I'd probably rate it at number 2. I do have my number 1 that I use most regularly, and I'll get to that in a few. But Depop is an up and coming reseller app that I've seen more and more as we go, and I looked at their platform. It looks like a pretty straightforward platform, but the shipping fees do kind of range. So that's the only reason I put it at number 3. But money stays in Canada. Numéro 2. I understand what I did there. I'm good. Anyways, number 2, I put as Facebook Marketplace. As much as Meta and all this other crap is going on, it is still a very reliable platform for local sales. You can generate income from it. You can sell your own personal products on it, and look for stuff that's in your local area that again keeps money in the Canadian consumers' hands, and we don't have it going to major corporations because Meta doesn't take any money for the sales on Marketplace. So unless you're paying for to being advertised or whatever, but to sell on Marketplace costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to buy off of there. A lot of times it's local purchases. Now, again, though, it is one of these buyer beware kind of situations because there's a lot of scams and everything else because it is free. Generally speaking, if you're paying for something, it's less likely to be a scam. So, that being said, number 2, just because it is free and it costs nothing to the consumer or the seller. So, that's why I have it at number 2. And my number one is Poshmark.ca. My wife and I have a store on there. It's Sunshine Retail Therapy. It is one of the easiest platforms to use for both buyer and seller. It is very clear that it's $12.95 for shipping, Newfoundland to BC and the 3 territories. It does not matter. It is $12.95 unless you go over a certain weight. And then everybody starts incurring cost after that. But generally speaking, you want some certain smaller items like, I think it's up to 2.5 pounds. So it's a fair size. You can send lots of stuff. You can get a lot of retailers, including ourselves, have discount policies where you buy 3 or more items, you get 10% off, etc., etc. But Poshmark.ca, there's no cross-border shopping, so you can't buy anything from the States on Poshmark.ca and vice versa. But that being said, there is plenty of Canadian retailers out there that are super educated and have amazing deals on products that range the scope. We generally have a lot of clothing, used clothing, new clothing that we've come across. A lot of it from our own home. Kids grow out of stuff and we resell it. But we use Poshmark specifically as our primary seller just because of the fees, and the shipping is very upfront. And I really do like that. I understand that they're a corporation, but a lot of that money gets put back into Canadian households' pockets just from selling here in Canada and reusing money in our own system, and it stays. And it's not going to a major corporation. So with that being said, you can find some amazing, unique items. If you're not the type that likes being dressed in plain white tees all day and you want something a little different, Poshmark.ca is an amazing platform for you guys to check out. It's rated my number one. Again, check out our store, sunshineretailtherapy.ca. .ca? It's not the .ca. It's Poshmark.ca, and my retail store is at Sunshine Retail Therapy. See you then, guys.